It's a new day, it's a lovely day, and yet it's not really that nice. We woke up this morning to some more snowy, rainy weather. So the snow is kind of ended. I don't know if you can see it. It's still kind of like, sort of snowy. Not really. It's not sticking around. But it's kind of dreary out. Now we've been looking at the calendar, and last year by this point we had already done some tilling in the garden, which we can't do. It's way too wet. We could maybe plant some rice, but we don't want to grow rice. We just have to be patient, and it seems like across the entire northern hemisphere it is kind of wet and dreary this year, and everything is kind of mucky. But that's all right, it'll dry eventually. So a lot of you were concerned that we weren't going to get home on time and we were going to miss the planting season. We haven't missed anything yet. Yeah, it's going to be at least another week before we get anything done. In the next few days is still more rain, and then finally we'll have a dry week. So the good news is this gives me time to get some other stuff done. So I got to get back to my new chicken tractor that I'm working on today. I'll film some of that for you and get the chickens out of those greenhouses into their new home, and then Anneesa can plant there. She did start some starts in the house. Got soil in buckets and little seeds in there, so we'll get those going. There's more snow now. Now she's snowing. Shows up on the red pretty good and on the house here. Oh, and the other thing I got to do is get the little tractor going. So I picked up parts for it while we were down in the USA, and I'm hoping to put it together and have it running this year because we need to use it. We also have a trip coming up. So I was just got out of a meeting right now. We have a trip going to Crimea. This is generously provided by the Crimean Tourism Board, and we're very much looking forward to that. I've never been to Crimea. I hear it's beautiful. And I found out today they grow peaches and pears, all sorts of stuff over there. So I'm like, oh man, does that ever sound nice? So very much looking forward to checking that out. That'll be, I think, towards the end of May. I'll keep you posted on that. But we'll be heading down there as a family, and then we'll be gone for about 10 days. After that, we come back to the farm, and I don't think we're going anywhere after that. But this was offered to us, and we couldn't pass it up. It's way too good to go, or not to go. I'd love to see Crimea. I'd actually love to see more of Russia in general, but it's expensive to travel, and stuff needs to get done at home too, or we can't make any money, right? So you can't always do everything. So today I'm going to start working on a new chicken tractor that I want to move around the yard. It's kind of like the greenhouse, but it's not a greenhouse. It's a blitza. We're not doing that. This structure for the chickens that I can move around the pastures for the laying hens, actually. And I picked up materials for it. I need this material. I'm going to weld it together for my new chicken tractor. This is for the roof. I've got a tarp coming for over top of it. So you can watch how I'm going to do that. Why? When did that happen? Hey, I didn't see that till now. Anyway, welding's always fun. I don't have enough tips. So with the MIG welder, you use little tips on the end and the wire goes out the hole. And I don't use gas. So you can weld MIG welding with gas. It makes a nicer, cleaner weld. But it's more of a pain because you need to take the gas with you. And it's a heavy tank. I'm working on sand. Anyway, I've actually never welded with gas, always done it with flux core wire. So it's a different wire than you would use with gas. And it does leave behind some residue, same as stick welding that you got to brush off or bang off. But then it means you don't need gas. So that's what I typically always use. Now I find it splatters a little bit more, at least from what I've seen. I'm not an expert welder, as I've told you many times, but I just find it splatters a bit more. And I get my tips all kind of gummed up. Now when you're using gas, there'll be a shield that you put on the end of the gun. I have one of those. When I'm using flux core wire, I don't use that shield, and that also contributes a bit to the splatter. I may also be a little too close to my weld, I don't know. Biggest problem was I didn't have any more tips, so usually it's not a big deal. They're not a huge money item. I would just toss it out, put another tip on, but I searched and searched and searched in the process, cut my finger, couldn't find any tips. So I drilled it out, and I don't know if it's going to work or not. The drill bit I had, the smallest one I had, was just a hair bigger than I needed. So whether that's going to work now or not, I don't know, but we're going to find out. We'll carry on. This is one of the side walls. Okay, this is going to be 2 side walls, one on each side, 6 meters long, and then we're going to make the pen 3 meters wide. So I need this, and I'll build another one. There'll be 2 rods in the middle. I'm going to cover this with mesh so nothing can get in. Do that to another one, and then I need the 2 end walls. The one end wall, of course, needs a doorway put in it so we can get in and out. And then I have more metal outside to build a little bit of a sloped roof. I'm not making it super duper tall. It'll be big enough for chickens. And I gotta put wheels on the side yet eventually. You'll see. I'm gonna put you back on a tripod. Okay, I started this as a time lapse, and I realized quickly it's going to get pretty boring because I keep getting called away for other stuff. So right now, I got a call this morning. Most likely the dairy cows will be coming next week, but there's a chance of it anyway. They might not. So we got to get that ready now too and kind of shift gears again. We do have this put together so far. So this is the walls. The front, we got to weld in a doorway now. But these are the side walls and the back wall. I got to put 2 more uprights in this back wall. Wes is just grinding the weld smooth. I was having some issues with my welder again, but I might have been using the wrong size tips, maybe. I don't know. I picked up some other ones, so I'm hoping it'll work. I've never had this much trouble with a MIG welder. Now this one's a smart one, and I've said before I don't understand how it works. I'm not that smart. It's got 3 knobs and electronic stuff. My old welder that I had for years and I loved it just had 2 knobs, wire speed and voltage. Pretty simple. But anyway, we'll get her sorted out eventually. But yeah, it's all welded together now. And we got to build a roof over here. So there's going to be pieces going up on an angle and then back down again. We'll sort that out. And then I've got a tarp going for the top. And the walls we got to put mesh on. And I got to build an egg laying box back here. And then feeding stuff we got to figure out. The chickens just started laying eggs. So these are brand new chickens that we just got while we were in Canada. I got Justin to order them for us. So there's another 100 chickens. I think a couple of them have died. So I'm not sure how many are there now. But at least 90 chickens anyway will be going in this. And I'm going to put wheels on here so that we can jack it up with the wheels, move it ahead, roll it really easy, and set it back down. And the chickens will be staying in this contraption. This is going to be our newest chicken tractor. So far the price is basically the same as a greenhouse, a little bit more. But this greenhouse plastic's no good because it gets way too hot for the chickens. So this we're just going to put a tarp over it. But it may end up being a little bit more by the time I'm done. It's still going to be significantly cheaper than the same unit purchased in the US. Oh, I also got paint for it today, so we'll take care of that. But yeah, he's just taking care of the welds here to make sure there's nothing sticking out so that it's nice and clean. There's a good weld right there. And then we'll get it all painted. Anyway, we also got to paint the dairy stanchions. We haven't done that yet. And I noticed now after the winter it's quite rusty. So I want to take care of that before next week. And what I'm actually looking for right now is halters. I bought 6 halters last year for the cows. When they come, I can put them on and chain them in. Can't find them anywhere. So I'm going to keep looking for that. I have no idea where they were. I thought I knew, but I've looked in every spot that I thought, and they ain't there. It finally stopped raining. It's actually not too terribly cold now. I don't need a coat at least. And it looks like we're almost out of nasty weather. Now it's going to start warming up, which would be lovely. It'll take care of a lot of this. Dry things up, make it look prettier. Should be good. I really got to get back into this whole YouTube thing. Sorry guys. I keep forgetting to film. Okay, so we're in here this morning. We're building trusses right now. What trusses? I don't know, whatever. Little rafters, little whatever you want to call them. So putting these together. And so they are all the same. They're just not sitting at the same height on the bottoms. So that'll be our little roof rafters. I got 2 more to make. Basically just cutting them at the halfway point and then 10 centimeters each way, and then bending them in, welding them back together so they kind of look like that. Gives it a bit rounding instead of a point on the top. I don't know if it makes much difference, but that's what we're doing. Now this metal is really thin. I have literally no idea what thickness metal I would have normally used in Canada. I don't know. This stuff I do know is 1.5 mil, and this bigger tubing is 2 mil. But I feel like I'm blowing holes in it super duper easy because it is very, very, very thin. So I'm pretty sure the stuff we get, I've never asked how thick it is. I guess I just get metal. So I used to get metal from a welding shop. They have piles of it in stock. It's a decent welding shop. Lots of guys working there. They actually built some stuff. This is way up in Northern Ontario. They actually built some stuff for the World Trade Center after the terrorist attacks. The monument that was rebuilt there or something, they actually built something. So it's kind of neat. Like, that's a long ways away. But decent welding shop. Lots of metal in stock. You can pick whatever you want. Big, thick stuff, thin stuff. They can stamp it. They can, you know, whatever. Just your typical, really good welding shop. And I've never asked the thickness of the metal. I haven't got a clue. I just asked for some metal and they send it home and we weld with it. But I couldn't make a trailer with this. Or even fence gates. Like, I want to make gates and stuff. I need to find thicker stuff. So obviously 2 mil is going to be too little. This is 1.5. That's too little. I need something probably like 3 mil, maybe 4 mil. I'm not sure. Something sturdier. But for this, for the chickens, it's going to work good. So we got this all together. I got to pick up some plywood and stuff for this back wall. We got to build nesting boxes in here. Wes is going to clean up all these welds later today. Actually, he's going to be working in the dairy barn, cleaning those welds up too, and getting that all painted. So we're ready for cows. We got to put mesh on all these walls, and then we're going to put some cross bars in here to help hold it, but also for perches. And then also this way, we're going to put perches. After that, I got to attach wheels yet. So today I got to go to Nizhny, and I will try to see if I can find some wheels there and some kind of shafts for the wheel to sit. I'm just going to use like wheelbarrow tires, I think. So something to mount it all together, but coming together. Now, a tarp is also in. I ordered a tarp on Ozone, so it's here now. And then squiggly wire that you use for greenhouses. I don't know if you've seen that or not, but I'll show you. That's how we're attaching it to the two sides rather than trying to screw it on. So yeah, it's coming together. Picked up a bunch of stuff yesterday, got my van fixed, so unfortunately the idler pulley went on it again, or tensioner pulley. I think it was a tensioner pulley on the van. I replaced it last year too, so the mechanic told me there is a guard on the inside of the wheel well where the guard's missing, the plastic piece, and so it's allowing a lot of dirt to come in there, and that's right where that pulley sits. So that's what he thinks happened. The dirt's getting into those bearings, and that's why it failed. So I got it fixed. I also got 4 new tires put on because that was necessary as well, and now I'm back on the farm. In the meantime, the boys got this all cleaned up and painted. It looks lovely with some new paint. They didn't paint the very ends because I think I got to do some welding on here yet. I was going to put a bar across, but I'm not 100% sure how, or if I need to, I guess. But this is now 3 meters by 6 meters, and it's not super heavy. I got a tarp for it. I've got special metal bars that go on here with squiggly wire to hold the tarp. And Wes is now going to cut mesh for the sidewalls so that foxes and stuff can't get in. On the back wall I'm going to build layer boxes, so that's all solid. And then so it'll be mesh on the 2 sides, plywood on the back. The front I don't know what I'm doing yet, but I got to weld in a door yet, so it can wait. And then we can stretch tarp over it later today, hopefully. I want to get this thing done between today and tomorrow. Show you what I got for the sides in just a minute. Need a bigger shop, not enough room. So this is the stuff for that. And then you can see the squiggly wire. That gets fed into this and what's hold the tarp in. And it's pretty standard for most greenhouses, although I think they use a bigger one. This one's pretty small. So now I just wasn't sure whether I wanted to mount it on the top. It may be strong enough this way, the pull, without a bar. If I was to mount it here, obviously it would not, because that would flex a lot, so I don't want to do that. So I've got to think of that. And then it's got to go all the way up the sides as well to help hold the tarp on and not let it flap around. And then also I'm going to do it on here underneath, and that tarp's going to hang down as a curtain. So when it's windy or cold, we can drop it so chickens stay warm, but if it gets warm out, we can just roll it up. And then the mesh will keep the chickens from getting out and any foxes or other animals from getting in. And that's kind of about it. I got to make some feed troughs. I'm going to make those up on the front corners here. And then the plywood for the layer boxes will be back there, so they kind of offset each other. And then we need to install water. So I'll probably weld something on the outside here to hold a tank of water. And then we'll use nipple bars inside for them to water. Oh, and perches. So these bars need to get welded in yet for perches. A little bit more work to do, but hopefully get most of it done today. All right, there's Waylon working hard. So that is what we have built so far, 3 meters by 6 meters. Mama's seeing it for the first time today.
Wow.
We're getting mesh on the walls, and like I said, we're gonna have curtains closing that off. It's gonna be pretty nice. And then I gotta put the layer boxes in the back. I'm gonna work on that today.
Wow, that's
See how far we get.
Good job, guys.
Yeah, not bad, eh?
Very cool.
We only lit one bale on fire. Pretty good.
Wow, that's,
Oh, and I got to weld the front door in here yet too, so I'm
that's
working on it.
incredible. Wow, really cool.
Hey darling, can I tell you what's been on my mind? Sick and tired of the 9 to 5 in the city life. Hey darling, we could get out of town, see the beautiful world around, wanna see it now. Pack our bags and get in